This is episode 36 of the Out of the Minds podcast. I'm Sean Oakley.
And I'm Sam Cooper. And Sean, it's taken about 36 episodes for me to realise, but every time I hear our intro, all I can think of is ho hi, it's off the board we fly. That's literally all I can think of whenever I think about this podcast. I just had to get that out there.
Fair enough. I'd not considered that one yet, but yeah. Right, guys.
That's all I had to
add. This week, Sam and I are embracing 2.5.
Hell yeah. And we're flying. Well, I'm flying weird combo janky stuff. I don't even get to do the janky combo, so it's kind of irrelevant.
Yes, I just threw together some new stuff and wanted to try some random upgrades and so on and so forth. It's my first game of 2.5, so it'd be interesting to see the takes on it. So without further ado, for people who are watching on YouTube, ignore the majority of the overlay. I had some real issues with trying to import XWS and stuff, so in the end we just got two halves of lists. It's more about the points, and you can see the turns on the screen, which is the important bit, really. Right, should we do a brief rundown of lists, Sam?
Yes. Do you want to go first, or shall I?
Yeah, so I brought some scum. Because...
How scummy?
Well, reasonably scummy. Because... due to certain circumstances, shall we say, there's a lot of very good bargains on eBay at the moment.
Certain circumstances, he says. What could they possibly be?
I'm not gonna berate anybody for wanting to leave the game if they don't feel like they want to play it anymore. That's fair. Fair and acceptable. Silver lining is there's a lot of really good cheap bargains at the moment if people want to expand their collections. So I have in fact added some Separatist and Scum to my Resistance, my Rebels, and my slightly diminished now Republic. So I thought I'd give Scum a try. I've not yet had a chance to play any of it, so I thought we'd just make some fun lists and give it a go in 2.5, see what works and see what doesn't. So I've brought the Gauntlet, because why not? I've brought Maul in the Gauntlet. Anyone who isn't aware, Maul's ability is, well, you perform a coordinate action. If you choose a ship with a lower initiative than yours, you may spend one force. If you do, treat that action as white, and you may coordinate one additional friendly ship with an initiative lower than yours. Each friendly ship you coordinate this way gains a strain token.
It doesn't come out at all.
I was about to say, it's more, he's got 3 force.
Yeah.
I then added Ahsoka Tano, who adds another force and has a largely irrelevant ability, so we won't go into that. Cutthroat, because it's a really good talent. Hate, because I've got enough hull that I can afford to regen the force. Dengar, so that I can, remove tokens, do damage. Contraband cybernetics, the swivel wing, which is standard on the Gauntlet, and then the Knight Brother title, which allows me, gives 2 charges recurring 1 per turn. After you reveal a non-blue maneuver, if you are stressed, you may spend 2 charges to gain 1 focus or 1 evade action. And that is useful and does come into play.
Yeah.
And then I've also got Pelimoto. During the system phase, you may perform an action on one of your damage cards, even while stressed. After you repair a face-up ship damage card, you may roll 1 attack dice. On a hit result, repair another face-up ship damage card. On a crit result, expose 1 damage card. Which seems great. I don't manage to use it this game because Sam wisely puts all the crits into my other ships.
But it's not like they were actual targeted crits. I just rolled crits into Bosk. Not that it really mattered in the end.
And so on that note, I brought Bosk, who has Cutthroat, Jamming Beam, Gamut Key, the Child. Oh, that's a good point, actually. We did not do the Child.
I thought you said you didn't have the child.
Oh, no, I
You said
didn't.
you had Perceptive Copilot.
Yeah, sorry, this is my old list, which means I don't have that. It had Perceptive Copilot. Sorry, I changed it in Yasby before I did it. Perceptive Copilot, Gamut Key, Greedo, Contraband Cybernetics. And then I brought Joy Rakoff in the Fang Fighter with Fearless, Iron Torpedoes, and a hull upgrade.
Nice. All right.
Oh, there you go.
So my pile.
And apparently Tactical Scrambler on Bosk.
Yeah, I saw that, and I was like, I'm not really sure when this is going to become relevant. But
I had 2 points spare, so...
That's fair. So I brought Separatists, and I also brought a Gauntlet. So I bought Bo-Katan. And her thing is, before a friendly ship at range 0 to 2 activates, you may spend 1 charge. If you do, that ship may gain 1 strain token to remove 1 non-stress red or orange token. And I had plans for that ability. So I brought Clan Training, which is a new Mandalorian talent. Before you engage, if you are not focused and there is an enemy ship in your front arc at range 1, you may spend 1 charge to perform a red focus action. After you perform an attack, if the defender is destroyed, recover 1 charge. Savage Press, he gives me a force point, and after a friendly ship in your front arc at range 1 to 2 gains a stress or strain token, you may spend 1 force. If you do, that ship gains 1 focus token. Hondo, everyone knows what Hondo does, he's amazing. Veteran Tail Gunner, because I had 2 points. A hull upgrade, Swivel Wing, and the Gauntlet title. And this one gives me 2 charges, and during the system phase, I can spend a charge to repair a face-up ship damage card. And I actually use both of them in this game, which is quite nice. It's a nice little title effect.
Yeah.
Then I have, accompanying Bo-Katan, I've got General Grievous with Outmaneuver, Solar Swan, Impervium Plating, and Shield Upgrade. Sunfac with Targeting Computer, Ensnare, Predator, and Crackshot. And a Trade Federation drone with Independent Calculations. And his job is to sit on an objective and score me a point each round.
Which he does admirably. Okay.
Yeah, so the point of my list is I'm shenanigansing with Bo-Katan's ability, Savage Press's ability, and Hondo. Because Hondo can give me a jam, which I can then use Bo-Katan's ability to remove gain a strain, which then I can use Savage Press's ability to give that person a focus. Which is basically like I've coordinated 2. It's a really roundabout way of me having Darth Maul's ability in the Gauntlet. I get to coordinate 2 ships for a force and an action.
Yeah.
I don't do it once because I screw up my start, and then from then on it kind of just falls apart. But you'll see that in a second.
Okay, so objective-based scenarios. We basically just picked to play. I can't remember what it's called. It's the satellite one. It's the
Assault the Satellites or something like that.
Satellites.
Assault at the Satellite Array.
Namely because you hadn't played this one yet, and obviously I haven't played any, so it's a new one to try out. And so the objective is obviously the middle one goes down. Sam had rolled and got first player. So you placed yours pretty much
I basically as close as I could to my table edge with the absolute intention of dropping a rock right next to it.
I did the same on my edge, with the intention of just having something slowly fly past it.
And then my final objective, I placed it in the opposite corner to where he placed his, because I was mindful of the fact that large base ships can quite happily contest 2 things if they're too close to each other, so I wanted them as far apart as possible.
Yeah. Whereas my one in your side, I put as far back range 4 as I could, trying to get it as close to the centre objective as I could. I actually think I've made a slight mistake here, because I was keeping it within the range 2 from the edge, but I don't think you have to on the side edge, do you?
I can't. No, you did. But you have to be within 3 of the centre.
Yeah, but not within. It doesn't matter if you're within 2 of the board edge.
No, you don't have to be within. You can be within 2 of the
So what I could have done was come down so it was almost centre, but range 3 away, if that makes sense. Yeah. So that the one in my bottom left corner, as I'm looking at it, those 3 had a bit of a tighter triangle.
Yeah, it would be closer because you were about. Because you have to be within 4 of my board edge as well. So I think you're about on the edge.
There was a little space because I was a little bit out of 4, but just thinking for next time, because there is a possibility if you can get it fractionally closer, you could, if you get a large base in the middle of that, in theory, contest all 3.
Yeah, I mean, to me, the spoiler alert later. The hilarious thing is, Grievous was able to contest two that I thought were pretty far apart. Grievous was able to when a small base ship can grab two of them that are quite far apart. Actually, when there's a fight in the middle, this really does turn into a massive cluster.
Yeah. Well, obviously, if they're if you keep them range 2, no, they've got to be in the range.
Within range 3, beyond range 2.
Yeah. Yeah. So yeah, if you've got it just at range 2, and you've got on a slight diagonal, you should be able to catch them both. But let's talk about obstacles.
Yes. So, as I had priority, I dropped a debris cloud directly next to the satellite I was absolutely planning on sitting my vulture droid next to.
I basically just put a gas cloud on your side of the board in front of the center obstacle to just stop you coming straight at that one.
And then my next two obstacles, I basically put next to your objectives, but positioned so that it would be awkward to circle. That was my intention. I was trying to make it so it would be awkward to circle them. So, because I know that Joy is the only one who can really do it easily.
Yeah.
So the idea was that Bosk and Maul are going to have to come out and fight, and I was going to be happy to fight your 2 ships with my 3.
Yep, that's
depending
fair.
on what Joy did.
And I just put a bacon in front of yours because I wanted the engagement to happen further towards my edge. And then I just put one of the debris out to the right by just in front, as close to range 1 as the debris you'd put next to your objective, just on the off chance that droid comes off it and catches it.
Yeah.
But I didn't think that it would, and I didn't think the engagement would be happening over there, so it's just get it out of the way. Okay, but to the game.
Let's get going.
So we've rolled, and you are first player for the first round.
Yep.
Yeah.
So my droid moves forward, lands on the rock, flips the struts, and double calculates. Because, he has independent calculations, if I forgot to mention that. And then I make probably the first, and I think biggest mistake of the game.
I do think it heavily impacted the game.
It actually ruined me because I did all of the. So what I did is I dialed in a 3 bank with Bo-Katan. What I said I was going to do was do a 3 strikes. I deployed her basically facing along my board edge towards Sunfac and Grievous, with the idea that she's going to go forwards, Hondo, Sunfac, and Grievous, jam Sunfac, coordinate Grievous. Then Sunfac will remove the jam, get a strain token. Bo-Katan spends a force to give him a focus token, and then he'll move forwards and do an action. Everything's happy. But in my head, I chickened out, thinking, actually, I want Bo-Katan to be angled more towards the center of the field, so I did a 3 bank, putting Sunfac out of the arc, which means I couldn't activate Savage Press's ability. And also kind of ruining Bo-Katan's ability to actually get into the fight, because I had plenty of plans, but it all just went to pot. So I did Hondo, I did coordinate General Grievous, gave him a focus, and I jammed Sunfac, and I did remove the jam token and gain a strain, but I wasn't able to convert it into a focus token for free, which made me sad.
At this point, I'll just note that you're running initiative 1, 4, 4, and 6. And I'm running 4, 4, and 5, so road does come into play in this game. So yeah, you've moved your 4s. I've basically set up Maul on the bottom left, Bosk in the centre, and Joy slightly to the right, where she can just head straight towards an objective. Which she does.
I had Grievous and Sunfac in the corner. They ended up facing off against Maul, basically.
Yeah, Bosk just came forward, did a double focus. Maul came forward and did a reinforce because I thought Sunfac was going to come in. So
here's mistake number 2. Sunfac does a 4 straight, which doesn't clear the strain. He should have done a 3. If I'd wanted to get into range, I could have boosted.
I'm not sure I'd argue it's a mistake.
No, I think I should have edged, because if I'd wanted to be where a 4 is, I could have then boosted, right?
That's true. But if you're obviously, I think the mistake is the Bo-Katan, because if you'd done the 4 straight after that, where you didn't have the strain, you're rolling 4.
No, I would still have the strain. with the 4 straight, but I'd already have a focus, so I could evade,
Oh,
and
right.
I'd have evade focus, and I'd feel a
Yeah,
little
yeah.
bit better about being strained. What I thought might have been out of range, but turns out Sunfac and Maul are at range 3 of each other.
Yeah.
Sunfac gets 1 hit, and you evade it, and then you shoot back.
So yeah, I've got the choice here. I've got a range 2 on Grievous, so it's 3 on 2. Or I've got a range 3 on Sunfac, which is 3 on 3. And I was tempted to go for Grievous, but I've got full force, and I just felt if I can plate damage through on Sunfac, it's probably worth more.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, and I called that I would take 2 damage from this shot, and I felt justified.
So yeah, Maul does shoot Sunfac, rolls crit, and then forces for a hit. And I mean, you roll 2 paint, so it's just the 1 crit,
Yeah.
and then it's always a direct.
It's a direct hit, so I take 2 damage onto Sunfac. Hey, Grievous put some damage in, and then you Dengar me.
Yeah,
I was a little surprised you didn't Dengar Sunfac.
That's because I forgot.
Fair enough.
I did wonder if you heard me mutter right before I shot Maul when I went, damn, I should have done that. It's when I remembered Dengar was on. It's like, I'm flying a new faction, and I put a
I would have dropped the focus on Sunfac.
Yeah, it's like
I've let you roll. I would admit.
I'm flying a new faction, and I'll pick 3 ships with 1 million upgrades. It's like, oh god, I'm trying to remember everything.
You're joining the internet hype. Everyone's running millions of upgrades.
Well, yeah. But yeah, so I Dengar, and I don't think it does anything. Or do you drop the focus? I think you drop the focus, don't you?
I think no. I think you do Dengar do nothing because then I shot with a focus.
Oh, right, yeah.
No, because
No,
Grievous
it
had
happens.
spent his focus on the attack.
Oh, right, yeah, that's right.
Grievous had spent his focus on the attack.
And then no one else has any shots, so I've lost 2 shields on Maul, but I've half pointed.
Well, half points doesn't matter.
No, but it's still.
But he's still on the verge of death.
It's 2 of the 4.
And I'll be honest, at this point, I kind of mentally gave in. I've screwed this. I've screwed turn 1 up so bad. This is almost irredeemable. If Sunfac had taken 1 damage, maybe, but now he's in like 1-shot range.
So I'm not sure what's going on with the overlay because
apparently I have 10. I don't. I have
2.
I know. For some reason
I
had plus. For some reason I had 8 at the start, and I was like, oh, I'm sure he fixes it in a sec.
I thought it said normal on it, so okay, weird. Yeah. So it's actually a 2-2, I think.
Yeah, 2-2.
Yeah, sorry. Obviously, I wasn't watching the overlay because I had the overlay up.
Yeah, so nothing in the system phase. My Vulture Droid sits exactly where he is. He has a plan. He's going to stick to it.
I'm first player. Last turn I Gamut keyed Bosk, so he's still got his 2 focuses. And then make a mistake because I forget your cards. I was having enough trouble remembering mine.
I mean, to be fair, Bo-Katan is a new pilot.
So
I was just happy that I remembered that this was an interaction.
So I locked Grievous.
Then I move Bo-Katan with a 3 bank straight through the gas cloud and only gain a strain for my trouble.
And then use her ability when Grievous activates to remove my lock.
Yes.
Which, alright, fair.
Days.
Yeah, you focus boost in.
So I did a 2 bank with Grievous because what I wanted, because I knew that the Gauntlet, it can't really go slow. So what I wanted to do was I wanted to barrel roll to the left and focus just to get out of the way.
Yeah.
But I didn't think I could do it with the 2 bank, so I had to boost into Bosk. And I was honestly, I'm kind of fine with Bosk and Grievous going head to head because Bo-Katan is there as well.
Yeah.
And Grievous is tanky.
We missed it before boss, but Joy had just done a 1 hard and barrel roll back into the bottom right objective. But that does set me up for a nice coming into the centre if I need to.
Yes.
Then it's Maul, and I trigger the Night Brother ability here. I'm stressed, so I spend the 2 charges. I take a focus token, and then do a 3 straight, which jumps over. Sits in front of Sunfac, which I'm quite happy with. I probably blocked Sunfac. In fact, I don't think you have a maneuver.
I think if I 3-bank the other way, I think I get past.
Maybe, yeah.
I think I might land in between Bo-Katan and Bosk, but it's fine. I figured I only had one way to go because I didn't want. I knew Bosk was turning in, so I was like, I'm just going to try and leapfrog over Maul.
Yeah.
That was my hope. It doesn't quite work out, and I believe I do no damage to Maul. You Dengar me, I take a damage, and then you kill me.
Yes, pretty much. Because apparently we can force modify at range 0, so...
Yes.
I mean, it's irrelevant because you did what Nandex do in times like this and blank out.
So then Bosk shoots into Bo-Katan because
Oh.
I'm strained.
Yeah.
And you deal a single crit.
You've got one agility, 4 dice. I got focuses, 1 crit and 3.
Yeah, but you can split it. So
yeah, which I do.
Yeah. So what I forget here, because in my head, you got a crit, so you must have Greedoed. So I forget that you had Greedo this. I just forget that the Greedo charge is still around, which honestly could have been really relevant. Especially because Grievous just put in 4 hits out of hand.
Yeah, and
which makes me a little sad. Yeah, I saw the crit, so I just assumed you must have Greedoed it.
Yeah, because although you can't see it this turn, I believe between the shot from Bo-Katan and Grievous, you've stripped the shields and I think put at least 2 or 3 damage through.
I mean, because Grievous puts like 4 in there. I didn't think you rolled an evade.
No.
Or did you roll 1? I can't remember.
But I think I must have rolled at least 1 because I've got both focuses gone. So we check.
Bo-Katan, before she engages, gets to use clan training and get a focus. Nice. I don't know if we're about to do that or if that's happened already.
No, that's happened. We're checking objectives. So
you have 2, I have 1.
Yeah, I've managed to get it. So Bosk is contesting 2, and one of the ones he's contesting is the one that Maul's contesting as well.
Yes. So sorry, you have 3. I have 1.
Yeah. So obviously I've killed Sun Fact, which has net me 6 points. 6. So I'm up to 11, and I think you're on 3. Yeah, whatever yours says on the overlay will take 8 off.
Yeah, -8 on mine.
But yeah, so some interesting turns coming up. Like, I know it sounds really stupid, right? On this turn, I'm stressed with Maul, but I've got contraband, so I'm planning on doing a stop and then turning. Because he now moves last.
If you're stressed, can you do a stop?
Yeah, because it's contraband, isn't it? You can perform red maneuvers and
yeah. So for some reason I thought contraband was just actions.
No, it's red maneuvers as well.
Okay, yeah.
So I knew I knew I could stop, I knew I could turn, but stupidly I hadn't even considered Bo-Katan doing a stop.
Well, Bo-Katan was stressed.
Oh yeah, of course, and you didn't have contraband. That'll be why, because of the red focus.
Yeah.
That'll be why. So basically, I want to stop Maul and I want to stop Bosk because I know I'm contesting 2 with Bosk where he is, and I've got effectively 4 ships on one of them, and I can't. Yeah. You can't win that one because the droid can't
have
get
my entire list over there.
So yeah, I contraband both. I stop. I rotate Maul.
I do a 4 straight with Bo-Katan, and I 2-bank Grievous around Bosk.
So yeah,
the droid sits where he is.
It helps that you're first player this turn because it allows Joy to
do her stuff.
Because I do a 3-bank here and actually come into the center.
And then I believe you either barrel or boost to get out of Grievous's arc? A boost, yeah.
I mean, honestly, I wasn't trying to get out of Grievous's arc. I think at that point I probably would have rather been in Grievous's arc.
Yeah, you'd get the Fearless trigger.
Get the Concordia. But being out means I'm not getting shot, so I'll take that. Then we spend quite a while trying to figure out
how to rotate
rotate.
Gauntlet in Tabletop Simulator, because there isn't an automatic thing. And the reason my thing is flipping is because I can't see what Sean's controls are. So I'm like, well, maybe there's some in the controls somewhere. So there we go. You flip around and you range one into the back of Bo-Katan.
Yeah, I take a target lock because I've popped contraband. I have just realised that I did cheat.
Oh,
I haven't taken a second stress.
that is true. Oh, yeah, that is true, actually.
That is true. I think we got sidetracked so much about trying to work out how to rotate the ship because it doesn't have the automatic one like the U-wing and stuff. So
you know what? It would have made a difference because you would have still been stressed when you took the target lock that eventually kills Bo-Katan. Ha ha! Well, it doesn't matter. Because you do a 3 straight and gain a token here next turn, I'm pretty sure. But we'll get to that later.
That's because I pop the Night Brother title.
Yeah. But my point is, you should have still had 2 stress.
Yeah.
So the 1 bank that you do afterwards, you should have still had 1 stress.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I agree. But it just means I probably would have dialed in a blue. But it is.
Yeah, like I said, it doesn't matter this game. Like, Sunfac dying on turn 2 has already pretty much lost me this game because I don't really have. Like the entire point of this list is these 3 are working together. So when one of them dies, when one of them dies and the Trade Federation drone is far away and it isn't hondoable, it just doesn't really work.
So yeah, I range 1 into the back, 2 hits, 2 crits. You double evade, but take 2 crits, which I believe was structural and a weapons failure.
Yeah, structural and weapons failure. Luckily, I have Gauntlet, so I can start fixing them, but ouch.
So you range 1 out the back into
Bosk, and I put 2 crits. Thank you, Greedo.
And I believe it was a stunned pilot and a weapons failure as well, actually.
Yes.
Grievous doesn't have a shot, so Joy takes the range 1 into Bo-Katan because I might as well.
Yeah, you spend a torpedo charge to reduce my 1 agility to 0.
Yeah, and I put hit crit through.
Yep.
And then
I believe is a disabled power regulator.
Yep. And then Bosk does hit crit, you roll an evade, so I split it for 2 hits.
Yeah.
And then, back to dials. And actually, I want to keep an eye on this now to see what I would have done in the case of having 2 stress.
Yeah. I mean, I think you just 2 straight, right? You did a 3 straight thing.
Yeah, probably. So the thing is, what I've done here is, obviously, I don't know if you're going first or I'm going first. I've gamut keyed again, so Bosk has got 2 focuses.
Yeah.
So I 1 bank to the left, gets rid of his stress. If you've moved, great.
I'm still stressed at this point.
Yeah.
So I have to move.
No.
Oh right. You mean if I've gone first?
Yeah. Because it's road, isn't it? And we're both I4. So if you've moved, great. If you haven't, I bump into you. I don't need to take the focus because I've already got 2, so I can stay unstressed.
Nice.
But the reason I dialed in a 3 with Maul is because if I do move, I don't think a 2 jumps over Bosk, and I don't want to bump into myself.
Yeah.
So otherwise, I would have just dialed in a 2 straight.
So Belgian droid sits on the rock. Happy days.
And yeah,
I fixed the weapons failure. I think at this point. No, I fixed the structural damage with Gauntlet.
Yes, you did. You did. I believe. Yeah.
I fixed structural damage. Then I move. I action fix weapon failure.
Yeah.
And next time I fix the disabled power regulator.
So Grievous bugs out. Yeah. Bosk has bumped.
Takes a target lock onto Bosk. Whatever.
Joy basically just turns away, sort of set up for next turn, basically. I thought Bo could come round to shoot me, but that means you're going over a gas cloud.
Honestly, in hindsight, I think I should have gone over the gas cloud.
I have to admit, the straight caught me out. I didn't think you'd hard turn, but I thought you might bank.
Because I was thinking the straight was, I want to fix the weapons failure.
Yeah.
And the straight was the only way. And in my head, I can always rotate if I have to.
Yeah, for sure.
But at this point, I'm being cornered by 3 of your ships, and Grievous is facing the wrong way. If Grievous is facing the other way, this is a much more interesting game because he's relevant.
Yeah.
But because I didn't know if Joy was going first or not, I couldn't just 1 hard and not care about the stress.
That's the problem, isn't it? It's road making you.
You think a 2 hard would fit, around Joy. I mean.
But yeah,
Anyway, I do a 2 straight. I fix the weapons failure.
I
I'm basically pointing straight at the end of the board at this point.
pop Night Brother again because I've regen the 2 charges to gain a focus. I do the 3 straight. Again, if I'd known that Bosk was definitely going to bump, I would have 2 straighted. But yeah, so I'm still stressed. And if we go with the cheating, I'm double stressed.
But you pop Night Brother to get a focus?
Yeah. I roll range 1, get 3 hits into you. You roll 2 of 8. So just take 1. Bosk doesn't put anything through.
You get crit blank. I get a focus, so I spend the force to fix it. And then I think I just shoot into Bosk at this point.
Yeah, and you hit crit him.
Yep.
Which, yeah, is starting to whittle him down quite a lot. And that's it. So
Grievous has somehow maneuvered himself into holding 2 objectives.
Yeah. Yes, he is. So I think this was a... Because Bosk, I don't think, was in range of the bottom one, so we drew on that one. So I think that was a 3-1 to you, which currently puts us on 14-8.
Yeah. So at this point, if Bo-Katan dies, I lose, and I think she has 3 hull left.
It's not so much if she dies. There was a win condition, and do you know that second stress really might have made the difference to it. Which we'll get to actually. So we were here like, does a 2-hard fit for your gauntlet?
So I was always pretty sure it would, but I just wasn't sure it was good. But I also didn't think. But when I looked at what stopping would get me, I was like, it'll get me bumped into Maul. Oh, whoop-de-doo! He'll do a force attack into me.
Yeah.
Maybe hindsight, maybe I should have accepted that and just had my bum facing the Fang, my front facing Maul. Except the shot from Bosk is going to go unobstructed. But my thought was I wanted an action.
Yeah.
And a stop, and unlike I can't take contraband, so a stop means I have no action. So I do a 2-hard. Fits on the board like quite nicely, and then I jam Joy and coordinate Maul just to remove the focus option from Joy.
Joy turns in and then just barrel rolls in front, so we're range 1, front arc to front arc. Got Concorder and Fearless.
Bosk
does a stop because I know I'm getting shot by Grievous, but if I can plink something into thing, and I 1-bag, and then because I've forgotten to add that second stress, I take a lock. So I've got 2 blanks which I do re-roll. So let's actually see.
So I would have lived.
You would have lived.
I would have gotten to shoot. Not that the shot was likely to have mattered.
Well, no. See, here's the thing. Because you can double tap.
Yeah.
If you kill, like, even if you'd lived, because you'd only be on 1 health, right?
Yeah, I'd be on 1.
The likelihood is, even without a focus, Joy kills you, right?
Yeah.
Because you got
Fearless. You've got 1 guaranteed,
and I've got a charge to get you down to 1 green again.
Yeah.
So we can assume that Bo dies, which would take me to 21.
Yeah.
So you're on 8 at the moment. If you double tap and you kill Joy,
the thing is, I would have to luck out ridiculously.
You would have to luck out, but if you kill Joy, she's 5, and you kill Bosk, who I think only had 3 left.
I mean, at this point, I think Grievous killing Bosk is pretty likely because I've got outmaneuver on you at this point.
Yeah.
And focus rerolls.
Yeah, so if you get 3, that's Bosk dead. Joy dead would put you on 12, which would take you to 20.
So I'd still lose.
No, you wouldn't.
You'd be on 21.
No, you wouldn't. Because I'm contesting... Bo's dead. I've got 1 objective, bottom left. And you've got 2 objectives. So that would put us both on 20.
No, I don't. Oh, I do, because Grievous is... Sorry, I forgot. I just didn't see the Grievous was sitting on the thing. So I would have had to really luck it out.
You'd have to luck it.
I don't think... Because I don't think an unmodded shot from Bo kills Joy.
Probably not, because I've got Concordia. But there is a path to not victory, admittedly, but drawing,
Drawing
and going to another round. No, I think honestly, with the fact that Maul's still only, I think, had 8 health left at this point, the likelihood is that even if I hadn't have had that lock, I still think the game's probably mine.
Yeah, no, I think I could have had more hope had we both forgot that Maul was supposed to get a stress first stop because we got distracted with the swiveling.
Actually, no, I tell a lie. If you'd survived that round, and admittedly, it would take some luck to one-shot Joy, but if you did, then you're almost guaranteed a win. Because you've got the droid on one objective, you just send Grievous off where Maul can't get at him for a second objective. I can only score 1, you beat me by a point.
Yeah, but like, there's no way Bo-Katan survives Joy's shot.
What? No. But this is what I'm saying. If Bo had died, and yes, okay, it needs some massive dice swinging. Yeah. But if Bo had died and you killed Joy, because obviously same initiative, then we're on equal points.
Yeah.
Then you claim 2 objectives.
And then I claim 2 objectives and I win. But
it's against the odds.
I don't think we have to go down. I think the most likely thing that happens is, like, assuming we remember the rules, like, Bo maybe plinks 1 damage or 2 damage into Joy. Maybe.
Yeah,
I reckon maybe 2. 4 dice versus 3, maybe 2.
But
I had the Force, so I could at least mod something.
So at that point, I kill Bo with Maul, and we weren't sure whether it's you stop straight away when someone hits 20, or you actually go to the end phase. So we just stopped there, and then realised afterwards you play through to the
end phase. But like I think we've mathed out what was likely to happen because I think Grievous does kill Bosk there.
Oh yeah, for sure. I think so.
He's not only got his own rerolls. I even have a target lock on you.
Yeah.
Grievous with a target lock.
Yeah, I fully think Bosk dies there.
But it doesn't matter.
No, it's about the joy, isn't it? So, but no, it was interesting.
That was interesting. I think I do legitimately think I handed you such a massive advantage when I screwed up with Sunfuck.
Yeah. Oh, for sure.
Turn 1.
For sure.
Which is a bummer. So I have to give it another go.
Because that's a lot.
I like the shenanigans.
That's a lot of 3 or 4 dice if you range 1 shots that I'm not taking.
Yeah.
I
need to work out if I think clan training is good on the Gauntlet or not. Like, it came in nice and handy, but being stressed that turn actually hurt a lot.
Yeah, I think being able to put contraband on them really is quite nice, actually, because it gives you that freedom to, I'm stressed, I'm still going to stop and rotate, and
I do this.
But
I'm just quietly list building in the background. Bro, the scenarios make it interesting.
The scenarios make it interesting, but I still think that killing people
it
will let you obviously I tried to get my ships where they were contesting two or 3 objectives, but once it had got to the point where Sunfuck had died and Bo-Katan had lost enough that she was really close to death, it was kill Bo. Don't worry about the objectives. I'm going to score more points this round from her dying than I ever will on the objectives.
Yeah, absolutely. Like, I feel like this is going. The game is going to lean towards, like, you can bring a spam list and go for the objectives, or you can bring a murder list and go for the murder.
Yeah.
And then there's the mix of both. Because I feel like my list was a little bit of both. Like, the trade fed, he's going to go sit on an objective, and you can come after him if you like or not. If he scores me 2 points, I'm going to consider it a trade.
Yeah. Whereas whereas
the other 3, they're supposed to really go and kill. Maybe score a point turn 1 because they'll just move up to the objective.
Yeah.
But...
Whereas mine's a sort of an even more condensed version of that. Whereas, Joy can sit round an objective, but I was trying to keep her in a position where if she needs to jump in. So I've suddenly got 3 ships in there because the Fangs are fast enough with a 5 straight boost. They'll leap in and. But yeah, Maul and Bosk go in and murder things.
Yeah,
and it still seemed like X-Wing to me.
Yeah, it felt like X-Wing.
Like, there's another layer to it, but
Honestly, it felt like everything. I fucked up with Sun Fac. I think I did that every single time I tried to put him on the board. Like, legitimately, maybe if I drop him down to Chertek, I feel like I magically fly better.
yeah, maybe.
I mean, that's silly talk. There should be no difference between me flying Chertek and a Sun Fac.
Also,
Sun Fac
you've
should be
wrecked me
easier.
with Sunfac many times,
True.
so. But no, I'm quite happy to get my first 2.5 out of the way. Yeah, I think the list building, the point side of it needs some refinement, but there's always going to be on this bigger
Yeah,
change.
it's always going to need some refinement. Like, but that happens every 6 months anyway.
Yeah,
So
exactly. No, it should be fun. It should be good. We'll wait and see how it all hatches out. Yeah, I'm quite happy, to be honest. So it's pretty much my take on it.
yeah,
Obviously, I
pretty much
do
my
need to
take.
play. I say the other three objectives. One's effectively a dogfight anyway.
Yeah, one's a dogfight, and if your opponent doesn't engage, you just start tripling up points.
Yeah, so we'll have to play the other two and see what they're like. But
Poe is fun, actually. And list building towards Toe is interesting.
because you want a list build lower initiative, right?
Well, no, and ability to get crits.
Yeah, to make them drop.
Ability to avoid crits. In fact, hilariously, in Cargo Rush, Bosk's crit splitting
It's bad.
is sometimes bad.
Yeah. But I suppose the advantage with Bosk in that is
You can choose.
You can choose. You're like, it's after neutralized results, so. But yeah, I think that's pretty much it for this week, isn't it?
Yeah, I got nothing to add really.
Cool. Well, on that note,
X-Wing's still fun. Who knew?
Yeah, right. On that note, we'll just say goodbye, and we'll catch you next week.
Yeah, catch you next week. I'll bring some more